Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Go Mango Tokukast. I'm your host, the Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have
the Cinder Blaze
and Makotoa.
Boys, welcome back. On today's show, we are going to be reviewing Uchuu Sentai Kyuranger Space 46. And, oh man, we're very middle of the road with this one, I think. Was that the consensus we came to at the end of the watch-along?
At least not for me. I enjoyed most of the episode, and then if you just kind of like ignore what happened at the end, it was great. Like,
yeah, the episode was just getting better and better. Fight scene was super legit. I really like that.
Which one?
The one where like freaking Stinger stabs the guy, and then why am I blanking?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah.
It's a stinger.
I'm gonna be honest with you, that beginning fight, I really would have liked to experience it, but like, during the watch along, my OBS was like fritzing out, and then it was screwing up the video for that, so I didn't really see it.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Aside from like,
I guess that's why it didn't really start off with a bang for me. Oops.
Yeah. I mean, aside from some like cool shots, like with them running and some like weird stuff like that, the actual fighting wasn't like too exciting. It was just kind of like base level. Kind of just think of like Cuervo as any other villain of the week, when they're just like running in from the side, taking a hit, and then bouncing it right off. And then, except in this episode, Lucky's all like, hey, use my little toys. And then Stinger's the only one who does it, because he's the only one who uses other weapons. So,
yeah. This episode wasted quite a few like opportunities to do something like neat. There's that whole concept. I really don't understand why Orange and Silver needed to be brought in. Maybe it's because they had the power up and needed to.
Except Orange didn't even use his. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It was just very confusing. They made some odd decisions. Maybe they need those players there in order to make the push for the end.
Well, also, they didn't have any of the voice acting from the suit people. Like Naga and Garu?
I want... Not Naga.
Naga's a person.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Balance.
Naga's person people.
Whoops. Balance and
Yeah.
Garu.
Yeah.
And Champ.
I could have sworn I heard some grunts from Champ. Like...
That might have just been his suit moving around, not his actual mouth.
Maybe like that just, reused.
Maybe there's a sound library of grunts. But, what'd you think about that, like, vision scene? The one where you, like, trapped him in the Kyutama thing? I guess that's the crow's Kyutama power.
Itachi Genjutsu.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Can you un-Naruto that for me?
It's a common theme in a Naruto to have the
honestly
illusion.
It's a common theme in like Toku as well, when the enemy hits him with an illusion and takes him out momentarily for a fight. I don't want our final boss to be doing that, and just have Lucky come back in like probably 4 to 5 minutes. Like,
but don't worry, he's not our final boss
anymore. Frick.
Technically,
gosh, that was amping up to be something so cool. Potentially,
like
the suit at least.
Yeah, like that's the moment. Like this episode just kind of fell off a cliff because Tsurugi making the sacrifice to become the next Don Armage, knowing he's gonna die himself. Even though if he dies, Don Armage is just gonna move to another body. It's not like he's gonna take him down with him. It's not like him dying is gonna kill Don Armage. It's not how it works. But just imagining like him being kind of fused with like his arch foe, and it just being a repaint of his arch foe.
He's not just a repaint of his foe. He's a repaint of Tsurugi's actor. I think during the summertime, when he painted the Ho soldier's mask on his face. Now it's on the wings? I said this in the watch along. I got spoiled about that early on, but I saw the image for like a split second. And I'm like, no, that can't be real.
Oh my god.
That's too ugly. That would never happen. Why is it happening? It happened, and I was mostly upset. And then, like the sacrifice thing, I feel like that was amping up to be something slightly unique, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then they immediately backtracked when, and spoilers if you haven't seen it, obviously, when Sho got like sucked in, and then I was like, oh, okay, they're all fine then.
Yeah.
Because there are no stakes here. And even if you know, like, it can't end like this, right? Because there wasn't that meaningful farewell. I mean, we got one from Sho, but it didn't feel like the end for him. Same with Tsurugi.
It could have been.
Or his last words.
Oh, yeah, his last words. You imbecile or something like that.
Yeah.
That was great.
Like, I don't.
Lucky.
That's not the end of Tsurugi. I feel like these last few episodes are really spitting in the face. Well, not spitting in the face, but like actively going against the sort of crux of the whole show, and like it's all predicated on Lucky and his luck. Like, if you have a trump card and everyone around you is like they're making unnecessary sacrifices if they have this trump card. You know, he's able to pull through in these situations, and honestly, with his character, I wouldn't mind. But when they deviate so far from it, just like with the dad thing, Lucky could have wrote out of that just fine. And then here in the end, when Tsurugi obviously was planning to die, I don't know why they're not using their trump card. If you establish it, it's even weirder when like they don't use it. You know what I mean?
Are you like referring to Lucky's luck as a trump card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They'll
Like,
use it.
they set it up to be the be all end all. And to see them like not use it is just very confusing.
They will. They're just saving it for the very end so that other characters can do something. That's probably it.
That's not good enough. Like, narratively, if you're left asking the question, why don't they do this completely reasonable thing, then you're doing it wrong.
But,
you know?
I mean,
don't worry. Just grab their their ashes or their scattered glowy spheres, and then you're good, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know.
Whenever you want to take any tension out of a show, just grab them by the spheres.
Or the sparkles. Like, once they die,
yeah.
just grab one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
Xaid.
Yes, everyone understands.
Just making sure.
We're not really building up to anything here that I'm too excited for. It sucks because, like, you know, the show had promise, and I liked the show when it had promise. I keep saying this, but like, the reason I stuck around with Kyuranger is because it had these lofty goals, but then ultimately in the end they I don't know if they've even broken even. A lot of our favorite characters aren't getting the resolution we sort of wanted, and that's the problem with having such a big unnecessarily big cast.
Well, Stinger got the ending that, you know, I think he deserved to have. So I'm fine with him.
That was like months ago.
Yeah, they just handled that. You know.
Right, no, but they keep bringing him back to the forefront, at least in terms of the fights.
That's because he's probably one of the more favorite more likable characters.
Populars, yeah.
Yeah, I just wish that they had, positioned this a bit differently, where maybe the human actors were like the main cast, like the main cast, and had all the main colors.
I think you're going into overall Kyuranger final thoughts type stuff, and we haven't quite.
Right, yeah, but it extends to the issues of this episode.
It does. I wanted Alex and I enjoyed it for the most part, and all we've been doing is talking about how bad it was.
Yeah,
all right, then what was so good about it?
I actually really liked that they killed Cuervo. I wasn't expecting it. I actually thought that they were going to save him, and he was going to be returned or reunited or redeemed or whatever. But they straight up killed him.
You know what?
It kind of gave conclusion to Tsurugi's arc in a sense, because that was his problem, and they kind of let him deal with it himself. They didn't have a Lucky BS step in where he just comes in between Tsurugi and Cuervo, does his lucky magic, and then kind of steals that moment away from Tsurugi in a sense, and kind of when
you set your show up, when you set your show up to have that be the case all the time, it's at least jarring to me that it didn't happen.
No, but for this episode, it's something that shouldn't happen. If Lucky was gonna step in between Tsurugi and Cuervo, they should at least kind of set up Tsurugi kind of changing his mind. But Tsurugi's always been dead set, and whatever Lucky's been saying to him, he's just I consider Tsurugi a friend and all that stuff. And at the end, even when Tsurugi does kill Cuervo, he still considers him a friend at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember that he was what did he say right before, or was it right before or right after he gave the final blow? He was I'm sorry I couldn't I'm sorry I didn't realize your true feelings, beforehand.
Yeah. Well,
he got that resolution. It was nice.
That was still to me problematic. It's just that when you're supposed to again, it goes back to Lucky when his stuff is all based on positivity and positive thinking. They proved that they are able to still save people, and this show is taking a weirdly at the beginning it was
I don't agree. I don't agree because Stinger's brother didn't get saved. And when Stinger had to deal with him, it was Stinger dealing with him, not Lucky. Lucky had the power to save people, but that was for his stuff, his dad. He saved, or
he didn't save his dad.
He didn't save his dad.
He wasn't even able to do that.
So I don't know what this is. This whole he's not like Naruto where he talk no jutsus people into suddenly becoming a good guy.
Well, it's not even a Naruto thing. It's just I see kind of Corey's side of it, where this is something that's been built up as kind of
yeah.
That's something that Lucky should be doing. He should be pushing his luck to the limits, and kind of surprising everyone. In the first episode, where he just kind of quote BS'd the Leo Kyutama. Mm-hmm. We didn't really have any moments like that. It was just kind of really small, in the episode things that are happening. It wasn't something just Lucky is this superstar who just
yeah,
he didn't have you're right, he didn't have those BS power-ups that
not power-ups, but moments where he kind of he pushes your expectations about what's possible.
Yeah,
yeah. And generally, and I mean Sentai doesn't have to follow this, but it's more ideal, and in a space where everything's so down and dour, I thought Lucky sort of represented that light, and that sort of positive thinking, not just by luck, but also his positive thinking fueled his luck into making that impossible happen.
Yeah.
And that they don't key into that.
I mean, they have occasionally. Because the way you're saying it, I feel the show has run that dialogue past me again at a certain point, maybe during the Ryan arc, But for crucial moments like we were mentioning with Stinger's brother, his father, and now like even with Cuervo and Don Armage, he's not like, yes, no, but he did like bring like a sort of like light to even like the death of Cuervo, you know. It wasn't like a sad and like he just let his friend go. Like he still cherishes him as a friend even in the death scene, you know.
But like when you nerf that aspect, like the defining aspect of that character, in order for, you know, other characters to have their moment, it sort of feels unnecessary for them to have that kind of quirk to begin with, and especially since he's technically the main character, you know. It's arguable that it is an ensemble cast, but he is sort of the crux of this. When that is one of his defining characteristics, again, it's jarring to not see that being played up and to not see it, you know, be front and center.
Yeah, especially in like, actually, like one more point about when he gets kind of thrown in like the crow Kyutama, like that illusion type of thing. That's what they're kind of showing in that. But that little illusion scene was kind of just so forced. Like, I don't really feel anything. It was just everyone being bummed out and Lucky just saying the words that he's supposed to be saying.
I found more humor out of that than like any kind of, you know, whatever. If they were trying to go with something like a serious tone or whatever, that is not what I got out of that moment.
Yeah, like the message was so
empty. It wasn't an effective scene.
So,
like, it just for all of the special effects, I feel like maybe there were some cost-cutting measures just because of those special effects. We didn't get a lot from the voice acting crew. And honestly, like the whole beginning fight scene, that was mainly ADR, you know, from the regular actors, and then a few scenes with the whole cast. Like, what's an easy scene to do? Just put them on the Orion, you know, and bring them together. Like, you know, not enough pieces were in play here. Oh, and they had to assemble like the entire cast for that final scene too. So I feel like a lot of budget was shifted around weirdly, and it kind of created this weird amalgam of an episode. It was pretty. It was a very pretty episode. It's just narratively it didn't work for me. And the Cuervo stuff would have struck a chord had that stipulation of Lucky not sort of been there to like make me question it.
Yeah. Like,
again, if we have a trump card, why aren't we using it?
Yeah.
Great.
I thought you were going to be ending the episode, you know, because you're the host.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if you guys had anything else to say.
No, we're running around like 18 minutes. I think we should just like...
Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right, guys, if you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Yeah, we ran long again. I guess that's really a thing for us. But hey, we had a pretty intense discussion, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a finale. Come on. We've got to talk about a lot of things.
Getting there for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. And hey, check out some of the other content that's been coming out on this channel. We've been working on some new stuff. If you've been watching anime, we've been putting out some anime content. Yeah, and I've also got a new news show. Maybe check that out. Also, there's a Discord chat in the links in the description down below. We're having fun there. So, anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Keep it juicy.
See ya.
Later.